Good evening, everyone. Good evening, how are we all? So, see, this evening we have got another treat for ourselves. Got round 11 of No Assists here in IIRL Season 5. Now, of course, with this one, our friends at EA have obviously decided to mess up a couple of things in terms of the update that they've just done. So basically what we are looking at tonight is the F1 World Cars. So we've got reasonably free choice on livery. Basically I've been told to make them obviously base colours, slightly similar to what they have had obviously in terms of all the teams, and see their usual appearance on there. Let's say there are some special liveries that I believe might be in use as well. It obviously makes it a little bit easier for the it makes it a little bit easier on the eye, basically a little bit easier to recognise it. No one's done it, says Joseph. So I've got a few rogue ones, but like I say, that should be, see, a little bit of confusion for everyone. Hi Goldilocks, and hi Daniel. How are we? Hi Johnny B. All good? How's everyone's days been? Is he on the subject of Goldilocks as well? Let's just another little bit to point out. So, happy birthday to Rids. They are, Rids and Goldilocks sponsoring this one for Rids' birthday. So, fastest laps in the race will get £20 as a birthday present from Rids & Co to us. So very thankful, of course, let's say, for Goldilocks and Rids as always. Thanks a lot, guys, for keeping with us through all this through all this virtual game chaos. Thanks a lot again. So we'll get it underway. Obviously we are back to standard format this week after the sprint in Austria. Let's say obviously a lot of on-track action does tend to do some of these guys a bit of good. So let's say you tend to see quite a lot of really nice, quite close racing, especially at the front. Qualifying obviously no less exciting, and of course we are on the Staffordshire-Northamptonshire border. It's Silverstone. Just waiting for everything to get all set. Make sure everyone has got their setups and things all right there. Let's see how we're going. It looks clear and dry. Very clear, very, very dry. So, did have a little bit of a think about this as well. I know obviously the most unpredictable thing is going to be who your in-game teammate is. So obviously it's kind of a little bit of a predictions type thing. What we do have to do, obviously, is kind of unfortunately guess it a little bit. I mean, this is obviously judged to be better than, obviously, well, better than cancelling races altogether, which of course, say, is the best. We've of course got a few different car colours and things like that, you know, just getting used to kind of who's running with who. And of course we've got TD out first, as our traditions. I don't know what I'd do if it wasn't for TD keeping some order. There we go. So, like we said, we'll have some fun liveries around. We've got Christmas. Looks like it has thrown up on one of them there. Let's say we've got a few rather nice ones. So of course, let's say no prize other than recognition for the best ones, I'd say. Ah, it's Daniel. Oh, that's why, because it's Hungary. I get it. I get it now, but it does look like he's potentially had a bit of Santa syndrome there. Yeah, so it's a car glitch, Johnny. So in the update, they managed to obviously patch some things that we probably wouldn't notice, and completely mess up some things that we would on a weekly basis notice. So basically, equal cars aren't equal, and this is why we're in the F1 World Car. Let's follow TD round in said car in the Dark Edition livery around Silverstone today. That's half the thing, as well as not immediately knowing who's on whose teams for constructors. Let's follow him through. We are down obviously through Brooklands and Luffield now. Yeah. Having a decent run of it so far, TD on those soft tyres, looking like it's quite a nice kind of quite a nice run there. Probably a little bit wider and a little bit left on the table, more than he would have wanted through Copse, I would imagine. Let's follow it through Beckett's Chapel coming up there. And it's a long hanger straight down toward Stowe. See, first competitive sector time, so of course that's gone purple. Through to the Vale chicane now, and round to club to complete the lap. TD will put the marker on the board, and that is a 26.7 to get us going in this particular qualifying session. The next one we've got here is E-Bomb, which I feel like I'm going to almost be locked up for saying. Again, following through with TD. Not seen D-Bomb obviously before at all. I was in about a second and a half off the pace of TD, but of course also on those medium tyres, so well, the offset might not be that great. Certainly less than advantageous, you'd guess. Bates may have backed off of that one. With a few going through now. That guy on the medium, Deton, comes through with 28.1, and Flamingo Eagle goes fastest by a couple of tenths over TD, and Daniel comes through and in Christmas's favourite car manages to take another half a second off it. There we go. Hi Reds, happy birthday, and thank you again for your insane generosity. How are you getting on? You okay? Go. Not missed a lot other than the game being the game, and kind of getting used to a little bit of F1 World livery action. Oh, happy birthday for Saturday though. Again, it's birthday week. You could be wished happy birthday all week on stream now. Oh, you've got a whole week to spend it how you want, get smashed or otherwise. Really love it. That's running through, of course, with my commentary partner Padge here, because he's done his best to make it look like a McLaren for us. So there's a little bit of an idea. Of course, most of us are rogue as far as it's concerned here. So there we go. Looked like he's taken Stowe with a bit of vigour there. Let's say there wasn't as much of sort of the urgency through Copse there, but looks like he's stringing a half decent lap together there. Padge going to be obviously a little bit slower than John, who is rapid, but a 27.2 gets him up into 5th place, half a second off of TD. Good lap from Padge, let's say. Now, that guy has had a couple of laps on those medium tyres, but it's really showing some good pace, obviously, Padge, to get above that guy. 10-10 to the line. Likely to be the pace setter here. Quite likely to be the pace setter indeed. Just shaving under 25.8. Go top of the leaderboard. I'm going to take the liberty of saying this is, may not be a home Grand Prix for him. Running under the Scottish flag. Has to be really, really finicky and picky. See, usually is the British Grand Prix, this one. As Top Gun to the line. 5th place, let's say. Very good showing, obviously, last week for all but one lap of that sprint race there. Kind of dropping at the end. Dropping it, getting towards the end. So they're out of turn 1 for him, but obviously we're looking to put that right today. Still got a few on track without a lap to their name. So happy birthday, Johnny, as well for Thursday. So birthday week for everyone. Let's see. So I want your opinions on who's got the nicest liveries as well, because obviously this is now is a big talking point, isn't it? Something we've got to actually sort of differentiate everyone. And on a side note, I have got a bit of a cold coming on, so if you do hear an odd sniffle, I'm not being... Oh! Damon's round. I'm not being... Oh, jeez. There we go. So that's Damon trying to engage reverse, obviously not go backwards too much. Doesn't want to end up getting himself disqualified. Gets 3. And so we go for another sort of another warm up and go again, I would imagine, Damon there, just to get everything, get all the energy sorted out there. That's I'm not sure how people will take to that. So this keeps him out of the way at least. But yes, let's say Damon goes through there. Snacks on Friday as well. Wow. What in the birthdays is going on? I'm probably missing Sundays for my mum's, if anything. Small Smiley just warming things up, charging things up there. A bit of an out lap. Try and pick up somebody who is on a full-on lap. It looks like Greg. Going down toward the Vale chicane in the Audi livery. One of those who was put on the first livery we could see. There's a small improvement in 27.9 on that one. What TD's banker is looking a very good lap now. 26.7 probably. Could be about enough to really get a just about get him through by the looks of this. Of course, we'll lose 3 at the end of this session. Jump on board with CMR Frog. Taking it really, really aggressively through Maggots and Beckett's there. On all of the curbs. Really, really keen to get going and get a good lap in. There's Snacks tonight on the official account as well. Hiya, Snacks. So, DMR Frog coming towards the line now. A little bit wider on the Vale towards Club. Comes across for 14th. Of course, that's not going to get him safe. Did look a really aggressive run through the first... Oh. Yeah, through the second sector, sorry. And Snacks has changed it back. Extra viewer account, love it. Oh, yeah, you're right, Rids. Like I say, I like to tell my mum she was a Christmas present. So, it's it's a good week to be born, to know that something happened when, something happened in a festive mood. Let's see. Catch up with smaller Smiley on track there. And the rainbows, I can get behind it. Absolutely love it from you, smaller Smiley. Into the line, let's see what he's got there. What a massively quick lap. 28-1. It's not exactly throwing down the gauntlet, I'll say. We still have Damon on a run through Chapel and all the way up to the hangar straight. All dry. Thank you, TD. No one had said that before now. We're busy celebrating birthdays. I'm just glad to see you back first out again. Damon's to the line. Looks like the back end complaining on the way out of Vale towards Club. Again, 17th. I think that will have lost him quite a lot of time. I know Kimmy there, as he being wheeled into the garage, has had a few laps on a hard tyre so far. So that is definitely first runs completed. Top 5 of all retired. Joseph Hales is through on a medium unless something dramatic happens. Quite a lot of the field spread in terms of the times that we're getting here. Definitely tell who's could have put a dry setup on for a wet race. You don't get rain in this tier, Joseph, not too often. Yes, so Joseph Hales was getting through on that one set of mediums. But a lot of field spread, as we can tell. There's been a few people who've to reset all the settings, of course, on their on the wheels and things like that. Because again, EA, glorious games. Let's see who we've got out on track. Anyone still around? Looks like Beetle might well be on one. Let's see. Much bigger is kind of going round. It's judge on that of own, but the battery's creeping up, so don't know. Oh, I lost you completely in there, Miklos. Sorry. Yeah. So basically, the equal cars have been screwed. So we're doing equal cars but with different liveries, the F1 world. As I said, the only thing is it's just a little bit difficult to pinpoint who's who. Unless you know who's who, of course. What sort of teams? Padge has retired. That's bold from Padge, I love it. 27.2 is your benchmark if you want to take somebody out of qualifying. Let's see, still got Small Smiley, Deton, Damon and Kimmy, obviously all needing a lap. CMR Frog will definitely need one too. And Greg has just got one started, so let's get on board with him as he exits Village, goes towards Wellington Street. Hiya Jellyman, how are you? Is keeping it relatively on the road, pointing in the right direction there, Greg, so far. Again, he has had to play with lot with the settings to try and get those right. So he's backed out on Cops. There's been a one more attempt he will get, I would imagine, Greg there. Not real much time for many more. Waiting for guys to get up to speed, and we can then see How much time exactly there is. I don't think Smaller Smiley's left enough time. I don't think a lot of these guys have left enough time. Dayton's only just coming through the loop. Damon should get the lap from Cops. He should get that. And Kimmy obviously is coming just through Stowe, so he should get a lap as well. So big danger here, like I say. Dayton I think has conceded. I'll be honest. And Smaller Smiley, as I said, I think is going to have to do a racing lap really to get through. Don't think he's going to make it at all. Smaller Smiley. So CMR Frog and F1XL Kimmy are going to be the ones who will get that lap in. As I said, I think the time is just about going to run out for Smaller Smiley. But we will follow Kimmy, who really needs this lap to get off the bottom. Let's see how it gets on. Going through Brooklands and Luffield now. Taking the tighter line. A little bit hesitant on the throttle there. Just keen to keep it in a straight line. Smaller Smiley and Deaton both have not got round. So that was as good as they will do. And Deaton is out of qualifying at the moment. Deaton will be leaving us at the end of this first qualifying session. Okay, to be a little bit safer on there, but is well up on the time. Nearly a second improvement, just has to keep it pointing the right way and relatively quickly through these last couple of corners. Stowe probably waving goodbye to the apex on the inside a little bit. And while at Vale, wide, just again a little bit slow to the throttle, comes to the line though, jumps himself up to 11th place, and that's the lap he needed. CMR Frog doesn't need this one, that's a good thing because he's invalidated it, or does he? Damon is nearly half a second up. We'll need a little bit more to get out. What can he produce coming through Club Corner to the line? Puts the car into 16th, only a 10th off of where CMR Frog is eventually scraped through into Q2. A bold decision, but the right decision from Patch to retire. Looked a little bit lower on the leaderboards, but seemed to know exactly what he was doing there. And so it's Damon, Smaller Smiley, and it's Deaton that we lose at the end of this session. Smaller Smiley and Deaton, neither of those two getting to the line to get a lap in. They will have it all to do from the back row. Damon, as I said, will also I'll get used to the pedals with all the wrong settings. Yeah, it's a very EA thing to happen, isn't it? For them to somehow magically lose everybody's settings, but you know. 3-stop strategy. I mean, you could be like a 7-stopper like me in Austria last week. So obviously 10-10 tops the leaderboard then with Deflated, John, Daniel and Joseph rounding out the top 5. Joseph and Top Gun both through on the medium tyre. All the rest needed to use soft set to get to where they are. We use Deaton, Smaller Smiley and Damon. CMR Frog and Jimmy both pulling it out of the bag late on there. So good performances obviously from the top 5, laying a early marker down. And hello to hello to Demon. There we go. And I'll tell you what, if you've not been this excited since Christmas to see Demon, you've got to see Daniel Susan's car in a minute. Because if you want Christmas, believe me, we've got Christmas. So.
Max Verstappen became the youngest winner of a GP at just 18 years and 228 days old.
See,
When he won the 2016
maybe first out, I think I could hazard a guess. There we go. TD first out. So as soon as Daniel gets on the track, Demons can see that Christmas livery. They're starting selling chocolate Santas and things like that in the supermarket near where I work, and they are going crazy. It is September, and they are selling chocolate Santas and things like that already. Isn't that just tragic? There we go. Let's show you a slice of Christmas. Look at that. I know it's for Hungary, but it also looks like Christmas. As I said, they're throwing up on it. It's a Christmas tree. He is a Christmas tree. Yeah, and obviously TD is going to be first round, as is always the case, really. Does look like the Haas guys have actually tried with that. Yeah, tried with the Haas livery. I know John looks like he's done well. Deaton's was quite nice as well. Yeah, disgusting. I'd say disgusting as well. I think you should save it. You know, save it for end of season. It's national colours, but it could have looked a little bit less like that. There we go. So TD on the way to start the lap. Relatively well pinned again, just waving the apex goodbye a little bit. You can afford to do that really on the entrance to the loop sometimes. Seems to have got enough run onto the straight towards Brooklands there. To the straight there. It's is an airfield we're on. Obviously a different type of very different type of high-tech machinery we use it for today. That's TD all the way through Cops. Looked relatively flat there. And toward Maggots, Beckett's again. Jumping really, probably a little bit too much onto the curb there, more than we would have wanted. Right-hander. Doesn't look like it's compromised exit too much. Down to Stowe now. Blows really, really nicely when you get that right Stowe. Towards Vale, sounding like a little bit of a lock-up maybe. Major doesn't impact it hugely. Comes to the line TD. The 26.3, getting faster. Getting a little bit faster, about 4/10 in that from last time. John into the 25s. The first one in this session to get there. 25.9 he's got on the board. Round 10.10 comes in, splits the two. Imagine there would have been a slight error on that lap from 10.10. And Mr. Christmas has gone first. 25.8, putting over a tenth between himself and John. Let's see who we've got next round. Kimmy's bought those hard tyres out again for a lap. I feel that's a little bit insane, but I'll go with it. Going to the back of the pack as expected, I think. Really, qualifying on a hard tyre is a big move, and it doesn't always happen. I'm going to screenshot that, Snacks. Thank you. Snacks is rather helpfully put the teammates obviously in the chat there. So obviously these are for the standings purposes there. Let's see, patch through on the all the way around the field. I think he's probably off a lap, but I don't know. Looks like energy's coming down. But yeah, IIRL stats. So, yeah, let's see. The Padge then links this up. That's a sight, isn't it? The car just biting through those turns. Coming up to Hanger straight. Really taking off down there. Stowe next up, keeping it close on the inside, releasing quite nicely. Then coming through toward final part, Vale Club. Round, keeps it on the track, gets it to 8th, 27-1, about a 10th better than the first session for Padge there. So, what else? In and around on a lap at all. Looks like Kimmy's about to start another one on those hards. So yeah, Snacks had rather helpfully put in, as I said, the teams. So you've got Top Gun and Daniel technically driving the Red Bulls tonight. Smaller, Smiley and CMR Frog are in the Ferraris. We've got 1010 and TD teamed up in the Mercs there. Flamingo Eagle is the sole Alpine driver for tonight. That guy and Padge in the McLaren. Deflated and Damon are in the Alfa Romeo. Joseph is in the Aston Martin on his own. John and Deaton, as I said, the Haas guys doing quite well with the Haas type liveries as well. So we've got Greg and D-Bomb in the Alpha Tauris for tonight, and we've got Jay Clates and Kimmy in the Williams. Both of those. So, that said, that is obviously one Alpine and one Aston Martin. The rest of us are all present and correct. Let's see what that guy has got there. Obviously, after Kimmy abandoned that next lap on the hards and validating. Taking a lot of the inside, that guy on there. Stowe. Locking it up into Vale. Get a glance of the pit building. And through to the line. Gets up to 8th, 26.6, and I get the feeling they're starting to close the gap a little bit in terms of the lower field coming, or the lower the midfield coming towards the top. Although that guy obviously usually is one that's up there as well, but it's so saturated up there. And Flamingo Eagle and TD as well. Again, both of them well within a shot of winning this race, I would say, based on this sort of qualifying pace. Let's jump on with Top Gun. Keeps it in through Cops, but changes gear. Jumps back up to 8 through Nuggets and Beckett's. It just flows so well. That is an absolute thrill to see a car go through there, whether in real life or not. And up to 2nd for Top Gun there. There's a cracking lap from Top Gun, 25.5. I do apologise to Joseph as well, because that 25.4's just gone completely under the radar. Well done. Insane lap. Absolutely insane lap. So our bottom 5 at the moment. We've then got the D-Bomb, Jay Clates, Kimmy, Greg and CMR Frog all in bottom part of the classification. TD winning a race. Oh gosh. Well, if you've got anything to do with it, Joseph, or is it just Hungarians you do that to? Oh gosh. So bottom 5 needing a lap. Padge probably is not quite as safe as what he was in Q1. 17-1 on the board at the moment. There's 10-10. He's then 25-3 finishing the lap. That's finishing his lap off there. And has glitched into the pit limiter on what I've got there. Again, cracking game again. But yep, 10-10 pretty much sees himself through there. Also, we've got on track that guy on low energy will dive into the pits. Will definitely be the first runs over, and these guys are going to have to turn it around quite quickly to get a second lap in. Most of them practice qualing and not even the second run of Q2. Yes, Patch sent me those. Let's see. Patch is always doing a service. Let's see. Yeah, so we're 25.8s in practice. The TD got as far as the mediums, but yeah, let's say 25.8. That's insane. Again, let's say the fact that we are half a second quicker than that already, and it can go further still as well. So we've got Padgels here on track. D-Bomb as well. D-Bomb on a flyer. Let's see just how well he commits through this fast section. Gets a little bit caught between gears. That's definitely bogged it down a little bit, slowed it down a touch. Lying in. Lots of curb on entry. Keeps it legal just about. And down the hanger straight. Longer straight. One of the better overtaking opportunities, obviously, though, is Wellington straight rather than this one. D-Bomb again, you can hear the screech of the tyres just as the lock up as he comes to Vale. I get the feeling we'll see a lot of that tonight. Through to the line, 10th is what D-Bomb can do. That's nearly 8/10 improvement, but only the one position upwards and still not safe by any means is D-Bomb. Let's see where we are on track now. Greg going to complete a lap. Looks like he turned in a little bit early for club. Only goes up to 12. Let's track asthma. I want to say CMR Frog. Sorry, through. Oh wow! Sorry, the CMR Frog. That is going to hurt. That is a spin. Just it looks like got too much on the curbs. Almost drifted off into the gravel. We'll have to pray for no rear wing damage to be able to go again there. That is less than ideal for the 15th place runner at the moment in the Ferrari. Yeah, I did think it was. Did think it lined up to Asthma Frog. I nearly said it. Yes, let's my Frog with it all to do again. It looks like he gained more than enough energy on there. Okay, Clates as well now sending it through Cox. Right on board for Baggett's and Beckett's coming down the gears on the right hander. Going left back into that one, going right and releasing onto the hanger straight. Looks relatively quick so far, but let's see again whether he can keep it with four wheels on the track. It's not the easiest thing. A little bit of screechy tyres, nothing over the top. He lost his asthma. He's been cured. And Jay Clates again, 7/10 improvement, not improving position. And that was he a signifier of the field spread, really, that we've had here as CMR Frog, as he ran a little bit wide just on the exit of Brooklands going towards left field on that left hand. He's lost his asthma, that is correct. It's going to have to absolutely send it here through Cops to stand any sort of chance. But pin it and hope for the best. We've got Padge on the road just ahead. Also should be on a lap. Padge is 2/10 up. We'll need at least another couple to get through. He messed up Cops, you're pretty much through. It's no real worries there. Padge a little bit on the curbs on the exit of Vale. Does just do enough to get through at the moment. Got CMR Frog following through 14th. Kimi has invalidated. And I think Jay Clates has spent most of this lap recharging from the last run. So Padge scrapes through by the skin of his teeth. Under 2.5 hundredths of a second. Very, very close. But Padge making it through. To be wheeled into relevant pit boxes, and that should be just about it for this session. So we will lose Kimi, CMR Frog, Jay Clates, Greg, and D-Bomb. See, Jay Clates started from the very back last time out in Austria in the sprint race. Managed to come up and actually finish the feature in the points. So a very, very good return that he had through that particular race. Through Q2. 10:10 setting the pace. 76 thousandths of a second down to Joseph in P2. Those two threatening to get away with it, along with Top Gun, who produced a rather nice lap there. And Daniel in 4th, deflated obviously the top, rounding out the top 5. TD again coming up in 7th place, and Padge scraping through to Q3 by the skin of his teeth. We lose, as we said, Kimi, CMR Frog, Jay Clates, Greg, and D-Bomb. Flamingo Eagle makes Q3. Difference that not being in an Alpine can make. Tighter in the top 3, just under 2/10 separating those 3 drivers. And now every driver will need a lap. It becomes something a little bit different.
F1's distinctive sound throughout the decades is in part due to the high revving engines in use.
There we go, so we'll TD get out first for Q3. The horde of have decided to come out early for this one, but TD has almost got to the head of the queue. Almost. It's been spoiled. So 10:10 first out there. Just to stay out of some turbulent wake, I would imagine. Get a lap in some clean air to begin with. That guy, the only one to have stayed in the pits within the first minute. The rest of them really, really keen to get out and get this done. By the looks of it there. Let's see what they can produce. here in Q2 and beating your time trial time. These guys are quick. These are, pretty much the cream of what we've got in terms of some of the most skilled drivers within this league. We're going to have some lap times going up and some lap times coming back down quite quickly, I would imagine now. Queue forming on the end of the Wellingtons, on the end of the Hangar Straight, sorry. In terms of forming a queue, it doesn't look like John's done that. He's more than happy to travel behind 10-10 for this lap at close quarters. It will be the black and day-glow yellow livery of the Scotsmen who have the first attempt at a flying lap in Q3 though. Let's see how exactly it's running. Looking rather clean in terms of that so far. Nice wide entry into Luffield to get a slightly better exit out. Woodcock's really not a corner anymore in terms of how it plays in these cars. Doesn't go up to 8th. Keeps it in 7th. Just scrubs the tyres, loses a couple of revs down through top, but did keep it planted. And down we come through the gears now. 6th gear, Woodchapel towards Stowe now on the Hangar Straight, and this is where John may benefit a little bit. Looking a good lap and nice and clean, obviously from 10-10 to that point, possibly missing the apex a tiny little bit on the way into Vale. But coming towards Club, pace is set, and it's a 25.3, same as exactly what it was at the end of Q2, with John going ever so slightly slower, 25.5, 26.5 TD. And Joseph Hales puts the fastest lap in at 25.309, so Pips 10-10 there. Times are coming up. Daniels is on next in there, 25.7 for him. And Padge 27.6. I know we can do better than that for Padge. Top Gun will be next up to the line. Goes up to 3rd, 25.4. Again, really staking a claim is Top Gun in that Williams livery. Really good lap there to follow up last week's overall decent performance. Following that guy now, obviously takes Woodcock on the shortest line you can possibly get it. Pops keeps it in 8th, just slows it a little bit, struggling to get some revs up. I think overall he may well have given up on this one. Doesn't look too bad though. Obviously the energy is not on anymore. Dives into the pits that guy, so some brake marker boards have died death along the pit lane there as well. Naughty whoever that was. That is run 1 done for all these drivers. The only one not to get time on the board was that guy. We have got the Padge, a little bit of drift in P9. And the Flamingo, Eagle and TD fighting out in sort of 7th and 8th at the minute. But that top 6 separated by all of 4/10. Top 5 by all of 2.5 tenths. Unbelievable.
New set of regulations.
There we go.
Hybrid era of F1 car development. The biggest change being
TD used tyres there.
2.4 litre V8 engines to 1.6
So I mean that would explain it at least.
V6 power units. Along with this came integrated complex digital systems such as
We thanks for having my back, Snacks.
Formula 1 is named as such because the participants agreed to
It's
set
looking
the rules
at then
of the
obviously
formula.
second run. Who's gonna bolt first?
Referring to the fact that this is a top tier of motor races. Sebastian Vettel holds the F1 record for the shortest time
Might have a
elapsed
little
before
bit of time also
full
just to
He was caught speeding in
sit
the
around really.
practice for the
Got
2006 Turkish
that guy I
Grand
think
Prix.
has possibly gone out to try and get a banker on the board. Whilst we watch him round on the outlap, of course, time to remind you that obviously, yeah, Snacks, you've got me. Let's say time to remind you, of course, we've got the sponsors on the race, Goldilocks and Rids, of course, the absolute legends that are, giving £20 to the driver who sets the fastest lap in the race in each of the 3 tiers. Happy birthday to Rids. Let's say it's their generosity. So let's say thank you again to Rids and to Goldilocks, and hope you have a great day on Saturday, Rids. Of course, this is pretty much first practice for that. So they may well get a go at the end of the race of doing something similar to this. Depends how much they value £20 over potentially 25 points.
Which officially makes it the longest pit stop turnaround in history. 2014 ushered in a new set of regulations that saw us
That guy obviously starting off now, and he does definitely need this one. Might have possibly fueled for a couple of goes. And how confident he is in getting this one right, and that did look very, very shaky on the exit of the loop. Going down Wellington Straight now. Through Brooklands, and taking a nice line as a wider on the way in. We nipped in a little bit too quickly in the left field, being critical. Coming up towards Cops now. Keeps it in 8th gear. Again, flat, but letting the tyre scrub slowing down. Not onto Maggots and Beckett's again. And that is then coming through towards Stowe. Decent run from that guy again, keeping it a little bit cleaner bar that. A little bit of a squirm on the curbs at the loop. And keep it pointing in a straight line. Seems to have got a good exit from club as well. Up to 7th there. Very good run from that guy. Solid 7th place. I'd say so far. The TD Flamingo Eagle 5 and 6/10 off respectively. I'll have a job to beat it. There is track improvement, of course, there's always track improvement. But needing quite a lot of that to really be beaten now, I'd imagine. That guy. Looking at Padge here, is nearly 3/10 up on his current lap time. Again, we need a little bit more than that to get away from that 10th position. See what he's got coming through. And hugging the track limits there. Does improve by over 9/10. It's still not enough to move him up from 10th place. We have got 10:10 on the lap as well. Is he coming up through the loop at the minute? And you're watched by the Brooklands Drivers Club as comes round through their corner through Loughfield. Gets it as wide as he possibly can on the exit. Hugs the inside at Woodcote. Comes up towards Copse, keeping it in 7th again. Revving it all the way down. Nice and controlled through Copse. Not overcooking it. The bite through Beckett's there. Towards the DRS zone is a 10th up, and that is more than what he needs. He's not going to want to lose too much time, obviously, on this last part. Good entry to Stowe, just about hanging it onto track limits there. And throwing it into Vale now. Not touching the curb too much on exit. The lap that 10:10 has set is a 25.0. Oh my word. 10:10. Incredible. Top Gun may well have backed out of his. Top Gun's gone in the pits there. A little bit of traffic at the end of the Hanger straight. So Joseph Hales is going to have a chance to beat it. Straddling the curbs on the way. That's not going to help. And improves and goes top by 5 thousandths of a second. That's incredible. 5 thousandths of a second. John John's going to be next through. John John up to third on a 25.4. Those two at the top have made that look pretty ordinary. Deflated. Oh, wow. Possibly a little bit dodgy in that move towards that guy who is on a final Hail Mary of a run, I think, by the looks of that. No, it's not. He's in the pits. As TD. Wow. TD. That is crazy. Give the Yorkshireman a round of applause, everyone. That is incredible. That is brilliant. 25.3 to put himself up onto the second row. These F1 World Cars doing wonders for TD there. What a cracking lap that is. Absolutely brilliant. Go on the Yorkshireman. 1, 2, 3 is Joseph Hales and the two Mercedes teammates, TD and 10:10, are in there. TD third, 10:10 second. TD, as I said, has got a real chance in this one. All of a sudden. Brilliant lap from him there. Putting it above John John. But Joseph will start on pole. With 10:10 sitting off him in second place. TD third with that cracking lap. Fourth goes for John John. Fifth to Top Gun. Deflatedly in sixth, not getting a proper run off in the last part of Q3. Neither did Daniel. Seventh with 25.7. That guy into eighth. Flamingo Eagle ninth, and Padge rounding out the top 10 for us there. That's a cracking qualifying session, and that is an incredible lap from TD. Well done TD. That is absolutely brilliant. Looks a little bit darker, obviously, on the picture here. Let's say this looks more like a British Grand Prix. Isn't going to be wet, but it's gloomy and overcast. You know, this is the way. Oh wow! Incredible, absolutely incredible. So, of course, we are now in that 5-minute break. We will go at 32 minutes past 8. Ready for the British Grand Prix, so I hope these drivers have been practicing for their quick laps there. In honour of Rids' birthday, that said there's £20 on the line for fastest lap. Oh, Snacks, well done. Let's put the safety cars poll in there as well, so you can predict how many safety cars you think there are going to be. So in the chat. Snacks as always, as I said, always got my back, bless him. Love it. I think everyone's going for the 0, 1 or 2 option, I'm fairly sure, and I think that's probably where I'm going. I watch these all season, they don't put each other in the wall that often. That's more of an AT2 job. But like I say, the Rid's birthday race, I'm not gonna sing. I'll leave that for the guys on Sunday to do that, because I know Snacks has got a slightly better singing voice. So has Defeated. They sang my Kota song alright, so I'll leave it to them. What about your voice? I think it's a beautiful voice, Snacks. I think it'll be perfect to sing Happy Birthday to Rids on Sunday with.
Let's hope we see a good effort from McLaren here today. In recent times, they've fallen to somewhat of a midfield team. The last time the constructor won a world championship was in 1998. One of the longest broadcasted races was also one of the shortest. The 2021 Belgian Grand Prix lasted only 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
We should be just about a minute away from getting this race started. Any predictions for the winners? Let's say Snacks. Yes, I get it. It's your birthday. How about we all just have a communal IIRL sing-song in the Discord voice chat? How about that? We should be hopefully just about there. We're going to get everything started, and there we go. We are on the grid. 4 and 5 red lights. And we are away for the British Grand Prix in IIRL. It's a good start from Joseph Hales there. Looking to keep hold of a lead early on. Looks like he's stayed well ahead there. Deflated seems to have come off. And John in TD's round. TD. Oh no. What's happened, TD? No. Seems to be back there with a couple of other cars. Top Gun, I think, has been involved in that as well. That is... No. That is unbelievable. At the beginning of the race, TD's chances of a win or even a podium have been shot. This is unbelievable. In the first part, Joseph has obviously kept the lead. He'll be fending off TD and John now. Those two looking to keep on him. Flamingo Eagle obviously already kind of being dropped there. And obviously in among all the carnage, Padge went back a little bit. It's down in 13th. Kimmy's come up to 12th. And D-Bomb has made a fantastic start in there. Up to P5. You can see the horde coming down the straight. And that is Jay Clayton and CMR Frog side by side through Stowe. Having a look is CMR Frog trying to keep it in round the outside. Jay Clayton's leaving good room and keeping the outside and keeping a good run there. Maintaining position well over CMR Frog. Very well done. And Jay Clayton's very well defended. And we've got Top Gun and Damon. Neither of them are on track anymore. That's Top Gun the second incident he's been involved in. He's taken off a couple of crowd, been involved with a couple of crowd favourites so far, unfortunately for him. CMR Frog and Smaller Smiley now changing places. The two Ferrari teammates, so they wouldn't know it by these liveries, of course. And Smaller Smiley with a better run out of Loffield, getting ahead of CMR Frog, getting a move done before Cops. And Kimmy there, I'll say, also nearly having a look round. Eton and Padge is going a little bit backwards now, I think, in terms of race pace. Rejoining at the front, Joseph Hales pulled half a second already. Top Gun, as we said, has got damage. Well, Top Gun has got half a front wing, I think, to be a little more accurate. F1 Kimmy and CMR Frog having a little bit of a ding-dong through Stowe there. Okay. And Daniel has the fastest lap so far. So for anyone tracking that, 29.7 so far. Of course, that should come down. TD looking to drive his way back up the pack there. Getting around Padge. And I don't think many drivers haven't been around Padge so far in these opening stages. But we've got the leading chain of three on your screens at the moment. It is Joseph from 10-10 from John. Still going up there. And TD is going to need a monster recovery drive now, unfortunately. Top Gun does get Damon there. Looks like he's done that down the Wellington Straight. Of course, DRS is on this lap as well, so we are looking at obviously some potential overtakes coming on, and it might well be the first one. John on 10-10 maybe, but 10-10's got the DRS from Joseph. Lots of power on that though, because 10-10 didn't look like he was anywhere near Joseph at the start of that. Overpowered DRS again. It is like everyone having a Red Bull, remember. And IIRL stats reliably informing the 26.490 is a lap record round here for racing. So if we hit that, we have a record. Kimmy is off. Kimmy is off for an adventure into the gravel over the last corner club there, and been given, well, a game penalty for that. TD and Deaton having a little bit of a ding-dong here. TD getting a brilliant move done on Deaton there through the loop. So I was going to say that penalty probably will come off for Top Gun if he's that worried about it by the end of this, I would imagine. Or for Kimmy, sorry, if he's that worried about it by the end of this, I'd imagine. Let's say TD cracking, it'll overtake through the loop, as I said, on Deaton. Still got the lead 3, and we've got Flamingo Eagle and Daniel following each other line astern as well. Let's get back up with this fight. John looks like he's going to have a go at 10-10 here. Just not quite far enough alongside 10-10, a little bit more aggressive on the brakes. John not going to think about going for it, I would imagine, toward Vale. Daniel and Flamingo Eagle. Flamingo Eagle still close in tow with Christmas's favourite livery. That guy, not making the most of these medium tyres at the moment. Still has got a couple of cars well within passing range in front of him that he would like to get rid of sooner rather than later, I would imagine. Small Smiley again is through on CMR Frog, along with Deflated Wee. Both of them, and Deflated nearly looking like he came in to drive into Small Smiley's left rear tyre. Very, very close, that one. I'd imagine Small Smiley's a little bit of a sitting duck down here. Even with DRS, looks like there is just too much downforce on that car. Deflated takes him easily down the Wellington Straight toward Brooklands. This is where Smaller Smiley may struggle. The qualifying setup might have been okay, but at the same time, still didn't show it. Got some closer battles in here. We're going to follow the lead group again up the Hanger Straight. Not a lot doing in terms of that there. Obviously, just Joseph seems to be pulling a gap over a little part of the lap. That guy's the next one, obviously through on Flamingo Eagle. Has taken him there with the medium tyres on. John fastest lap with 29.4 now. So John currently in position for that £20, but again, I imagine they would all come tumbling down from here the lap times as the fuel wears off, as new tyres go on halfway through the race. I'll have a look at these and see exactly how close 1010 is to Joseph. Looks like he's managed to definitely pull it closer this lap. All still running line astern so far. Joseph will be hoping that John gets involved on 1010 soon, I would imagine. We also have got, well, that guy running very wide in his pursuit of Daniel. Joseph 3/10 is the deficit coming through the DRS zone. He's got 1010 approaching, but the Scotsman doesn't go for the move. In the Hamilton type livery there. Get the words out, for the love of God. Deflated wee through on Jay Clates at the end of the Hanger Straight. Smaller Smiley again close in tow. Looks like he might have gone a little bit deep into that corner. The two Ferrari teammates, by definition only tonight, were very, very close to another collision there. Again, obviously we'll have a chance to have another look at Joseph, and he's gone for it. To the inside at Brooklands, and the move is done. Just through the corner, 1010 takes the lead of this race. Joseph led 6 complete laps, and on the 7th day, Joseph's car said we'll have a rest. 1010 takes the lead. So we've got that guy obviously still following closely to Daniel Susan's Christmas edition livery. Looking as we come down the Hanger Straight, absolutely no contest there. Cracking exit it must have been from Chapel for that guy. Quality there, and he easily passed Daniel Susan there. Greg and D-Born both having a little bit of a look at each other, and obviously behind them there, got Deflated Wee and Jay Clates going together. Again, it's my Frog close in tow, and Smaller Smiley as well. We've got a little bit of the trolley train kind of forming. It's I've got Joseph Fan Club in chat, backing him to get back ahead of the Scotsman on the home Grand Prix. Jay Clates and CMR Frog still having a little bit of a look at each other there. It could then be a matter of CMR Frog, TD and Small TD there to capitalise almost on Smaller Smiley being a little bit out of position. Sticks with it. Seems to fend off Deaton still, who is well in the mix back there as well. I think we've got a multiple way fight for that final point going on at the minute. TD looking to again cut through these as quickly as he possibly can. He will want to get really towards the likes of Greg, likes of Flamingo Eagle even maybe. Sort of a realistic kind of place for him to be. But Again, looking to recover well, but Deaton is still hanging off the back of him, presumably running the equivalent of a cardboard wing and a what's-it on that car, I would imagine. CMR Frog and Jay Clates again changing position. And Jay Clates this time going backwards. Smaller Smiley's got him, and so is TD. Seems to have got offline a little bit and has lost out big time. Seems to be losing a bit of grip in those tyres now. It's definitely was struggling coming through the first turn. Also toward the village there, but like I say, this is working for TD at the minute. At the top, there's still Linus Stern. And let's have a look at... Oh, Smaller Smiley, that's not a good time. Smaller Smiley round at Brooklands. Unsure of whether there was any influence on that. But TD again jumps up a position, still with Deaton in tow. That's probably the one driver you don't want to have within 6/10 of you going down a straight. And we have a change for the lead. Joseph taking 10-10 on the run to Stowe while all that goes on. Taking the lead back. Joseph fan club will be happy. Joseph will be happy himself. 10-10 won't be. He is again losing to England. Another Scottish sporting calamity at the minute. And he has got the American John trailing closely as well behind. Just watching all this go on for now. Looking for a good one to see if he can capitalise on these two, possibly having a little bit of a fight between the two. Jay Clates goes into Stewart's little black book. 10-10, look to the outside there. Wanted the move on Joseph Hales, you could see. And he's got a good line to come out through Luffield. It was 10-10. Nothing doing, obviously, on the run and into Brooklands. Through Cops now with AERT leaders. And again, these three separated by at times less than 0.5 of a second, which on track is incredibly close for these lot. And it happens every week, and we go back again. 10-10 having a look. Tempted to go to the inside of Stowe, just thinking a little bit better of it there. Stick with the back of Joseph for another lap. Possibly another half a lap, as we have car off there. I think CMR Frog has been off. Jay Clates has lost a couple of positions. And we have a yellow in sector 3, and that is Daniel. That is Daniel Susan. That's what you get for celebrating Christmas into September. Down to 9th place there. Seems to have gone on by what I can see on the mini map there. But that is unfortunate for Daniel. He'll need a run like Santa's sleigh to get himself back into contention for any big points now. Still with lead battle, you could throw a blanket over them. Deflated Wee has picked off Greg. It's D-Bomb next up the road for him. T again looking to try and get a little bit closer to these battles as Daniel to the inside of Cops gets his man there. Greg again losing a couple of positions in about as many corners. And that Audi livery. And he will be looking at the back of what is effectively a candy cane on a Christmas tree. So Joseph again sort of starting to build a decent gap. Of course, so this is going to be mainly a game of when does one of them go in terms of their in terms of their strategy calls. Thank you for that, Snacks. I'm not going to say that out loud on stream in case anyone's not found the result or anything, if they're just watching, but that's good to know. We have got D-Bomb obviously heading up a group that's currently consisting of about 4 cars behind him, 5 if you count Greg, who's just sort of coming off just a little bit there. He's still keeping ahead there. He's D-Bomb, and as I said, after that cracking start, is holding position really quite well. Again, I think a couple of drivers behind him who will be wanting him to hold it and do a bit of a science. John much closer to 10-10 than 10-10 is to Joseph on this lap. See, of course, 2/10 with DRS doesn't do a heck of a lot. Again, we're we are holding position there as Daniel and Deflated keeping it in together around the outside of Stowe. Daniel gets the move done, a little bit of wheel banging mid corner. Deflated, passed by the Red Bull Christmas edition livery. I will stop mentioning it, I promise, but it is horrific. I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm so sorry. I know it's national colours, but again, it's pretty bad. I do apologise. Really, 10-10? Really? Oh, really, Snacks? So really, man. Wow. So, round we go. Another tour all the way through the lap. These three, still very close up together. D-Bomb's still heading up this little train. Currently 3 cars in it, and Greg obviously being cut adrift a little bit. TD reeling him in touch as well. Up towards Stowe again with the leaders. Again, no movement in terms of their positioning. There we go, and that guy, as John dives into the pits. John the first one to go. We'll look to undercut the leaders on a nice new shiny set of medium tyres. He's had enough. And TD's got to try something, so this is good from him. And this is going to be his stop for a set of mediums as well. With Joseph, he's still in the lead. 10-10, very, very close behind now. And Daniel Susan has finally taken D-Bomb through Brooklands by the looks of that there. There we are, going back to the lead battle because 10-10 is tracking nicely onto the back of Joseph Hales, loses a little bit of time through Maggots and Beckett's following a turbulent wake, but should be able to have more than a look, I would imagine, down towards Stowe. Is he going to try it? He's sat right in the gearbox of Joseph Hales. Will he come in? Both of them come in. And Joseph hasn't got it slowed down enough. That's a 5-second penalty for Joseph. Oh, wow. That could be the thing that changes the course of this race. It's been a cracking run to that point for Joseph Hales, but he, along with Daniel, has ended up with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And that could be as good as ending the chance that Joseph might have of winning this race. Of course, we have got, again, long run specialists, and obviously that guy in Flamingo Eagle ahead. now. And John has cleared Joseph by nearly a second. John will just be hoping that Joseph can prove a bit of a cork in the bottle now, because realistically, Joseph is going to have to do quite a lot to try and win this, but if he can hold up 10-10 a bit, that will definitely be a benefit to the American, who could take the victory on British soil. He's performed the undercut as John. Obviously that guy as well, obviously the current leader of the race. As I said here, and Flamingo Eagle, I seem to remember, had a little bit of a good run together on some very used tyres last week. But that guy, the leader, comes in, and we've got John right on the back of Smaller Smiley. I think Smaller Smiley might be slightly terrified at this. He's got 3 medium tyre runners all behind him. Cowers away into the pit lane. I don't blame him, to be honest. That'd be a terrifying sight, that. And that guy has decided he's going to take a set of softs to the end of the race. We're tracking fastest lap. John 28.5 on that last tour. The first lap out on those new mediums. So he's getting the undercut, setting the pace. And looking rather good for a victory now. If 10-10 takes a little bit too long to get around Joseph. John will have some comparatively clean air to run in. And Smaller Smiley obviously came out of the pits in 14th position. So pitted from, where were we? Pitted from 3rd place. 2nd place even, sorry. And has come out 14th. It's just testament to how close this field is. This field really is. TD we're obviously following here. He's got himself up into the points as a result of all of that. A little bit of an undercut on those mediums, and Flamingo Eagle finally gives in and goes into the pits. That will mean that John will come through and will take the lead. Joseph Hales has posted fastest lap there. Certainly got much closer to John on this this particular lap. Just to see where Flamingo Eagle ends up as well. You can see long pit lane there. Eagle has just been overtaken by Daniel and deflated. Might just squeeze out ahead of D-Bomb if he's lucky, and has. I just want to get those tyres warmed up, and that is deflated wee round. And coming on and joining up with Greg there in the Audi livery. And so an extra place for Flamingo Eagle there, up to 6th. A good pit stop there, and he's found a good gap. 2 laps fresher tyres than Daniel. And should he be able to take that, could find himself on a rather good points finish. We have Joseph in the lead. He'd taken position from John, but that will be given back, I would imagine, by force at the end of the Hangar Straight. Coming towards Stowe, gets it done rather nice and easily, the American, to get himself back ahead of Joseph. And again, he will be looking to keep that and just keep that advantage. The main concern for him will be that he doesn't lose position to 10-10. We come again. We also do have Daniel and Flamingo Eagle rather close together. That one to keep an eye on for 5th place, and whether Flamingo Eagle will be able to push any further on than that. That guy also may well be on one and will look to push those softs all the way to the end. to get potentially to the back of that front three. At least within a little bit of a range of Joseph Hales. But Daniel loses position to Flamingo Eagle, who has had a brilliant race, by the way. Been absolutely cracking in this. I'd say has been has been quick in qualifying, has raced really, really well. On course for some very good points, and like I said, we'll also kind of want to push onto the back of that guy once those tyres start to go off on the McLaren driver. With the top three again, still not a lot to separate them as always. There was field spread on the lower part of the field. These three have kept themselves within the distance at which you could lob a blanket over them all. Smiley was still fending off Deaton back in a battle for 12th place there. These are a couple of the closest people we have on the track who aren't the leaders at the moment. Deaton not considering sending that into village. May look for an exit over the loop that can take him or a move down toward Brooklands. Have a look. Definitely has a look there, Deaton, but that's not enough to really give it a go. Still got Daniel hanging off the back of Flamingo Eagle, and obviously after losing position a lap or so ago, Daniel will be keen to get that spot back. Still got John in the lead on that stunning little undercut. See Joseph and 10-10 again, following so close. Inhaling all those fumes. They'll be smelling the back of that car. And they're 3. Oh, 10-10. Knocking wheels with Joseph Hales there. Came steaming in on the inside. And that's knocked Joseph Hales off of line. They were almost 3 wide into Brooklands. And that is the lap that it's happened in terms of a flashpoint in this race. 10-10 barges his way through to second place. Joseph naturally won't be happy about that. So with his 5-second penalty, still going to mean he keeps third, but they've been hoping for one of those other drivers to have been caught up in something, make an error of their own, for him to keep up there and keep that position. That's big flashpoint, as I said, between two of the top 3 there. John stayed out of it, got away from it. And again, that would have been what he was hoping for in terms of these two getting a little bit close together and having a little bit of a fight between them. But now John has his direct rival for the lead in his mirrors in that black and day-glow yellow livery. Flamingo Eagle still running this race without penalties as well. It still has Daniel Susan for close company there. And let's have a look back toward Padge and Deaton as well, who are getting a little bit close together. The 15th place there. A little bit of a look. Greg and Deflated quite close up as well as we pick them up through the loop. Greg's chosen the Verstappen helmet by the looks of that. Not really close enough, was he, to really get anything done on Deflated, I would imagine there. Flamingo Eagle still staying ahead of Daniel on pure pace as well. And 10-10 definitely will be looking to push John now. With those tyres that have just got a lap less on them. Imagine 10-10 would definitely send it at some point. Knew he had to get Joseph out of the way. That's probably why the move came in. A little bit of a wheel bump. As I say, I don't imagine Joseph would be best pleased with that. Here we go. Down Wellington Straight. 10-10 approaching quickly. Still not able to get that move. Daniel Susan looks like he's got Flamingo Eagle into Village there. As they now come through the loop, Flamingo Eagle's going to get a chance to go straight back around him. And Flamingo Eagle gets it back at Brooklands. Padge obviously finally gets his man in Deton there. We have got a white vehicle off, which I think is Deton. Deton is off just out of the loop on the Wellington Straight. Reminds me of exactly the place where we saw the Nutter on the track. And Daniel Susan and Flamingo Eagle changing places again, this time through Stowe. Daniel possibly running a little bit of a more Silverstone friendly setup. Seems to have just a little less downforce on the car. TD has made it well within a couple of seconds of where Greg is. Fighting back for a point at all is very good showing, I'd say, from TD. But if he can reach Greg, he can also then reach Deflated. He's got more than a chance at possibly getting D-Bomb for about 7th place if he can keep it on, but it'd need to be absolutely rapid over these next couple of laps. Fastest lap, I think I saw Joseph do it. As I say, I've been watching a bit more on track grids. So, I think it's Joseph so far, but I will have to check it at the end, to be honest. They've been too good in the actual racing. We've got another yellow on track. I think it's blue when it's off. That is Kimmy, who has been round there. Oh, I can check. Okay, let's check. Try and find it. There we go, Joseph, or 10-10, sorry, fastest lap. 27.9 we're on at the moment. And we've got some randoms joining. Woo. Kimmy obviously comes in, retires in the pits. And TD takes Greg for 9th place. And so does Smaller Smiley for 10th as well, so I'd imagine that's an error for Greg on there. Back up toward the lead battle. Still got the width of the hair separating the top 3 on track at least. And here comes 10-10 down towards Stowe once more. Obviously getting within a couple of tenths. Just needing a little bit more to be able to pull a move properly on John for the lead. He has got all of another couple of laps to make it work. This is blitzed by this race. Absolutely blitzed by. And I promise you it was not an airfield pun. But it has been another one of close racing for the front three. John currently still holding the lead, but 10-10 approaching with menace. Can he take the move? He goes to the inside. John defends the outside of Brooklands. And he has kept the position for now. In terms of who is pitting, obviously Damon has had a go at it by the looks of it. Deaton is on a fresher set of soft tyres, so might get a go at that fastest lap. Deaton's only been out for a lap there, so this is probably going to be as good as it gets in terms of an attempt on fastest lap there. Deaton. See where he's on track at the moment. He is just ahead of these guys. We'll follow the lead group through Stowe. And let's see what Deaton can produce. Going on towards the line. Might well have another go at it as a 28.2 he's pulled there. So still about 0.3 off of 10-10. We'll have one more go though. Let's say final lap of the race. It's still the American who's leading in the mock-up Haas for the day. And that is a car that has gone wide. Deaton, I think, there to let the guys through. Possibly. But again, if it wasn't for Joseph's 5-second penalty, we would have a three-way battle for the lead on the final lap. It is like watching Singapore again. Except one of them doesn't stick it in a wall, hopefully. Oh, 10-10 darting, looking for the inside of Kopp's corner to pull a final lap move. Might have to just sit with it for Maggots and Beckett's. John looking to maximise his exit out of here. Can he keep it ahead of 10-10 for just one more straight? Let's get on board with 10-10. He's catching. He's round the outside towards Stowe. How late is John going to be on the brakes? Not late enough. And on the final lap, at Stowe corner, 10-10 takes the lead of the British Grand Prix. John sends it to the inside for the final lap. And they come through together, side by side, touching. But 10-10, by 44 thousandths of a second, takes the victory as they spin each other on the line. Joseph comes in for a safe third place, but these two, they've hit each other on the final corner. They've spun round, and 10-10 has won it pretty much on the way that they spun. Incredible scenes on the final lap there. Deflated is out. And what on earth is going on? There's cars everywhere. There's cars absolutely everywhere. I'm trying to... Oh, wow. Okay. There's bits and pieces of car flying absolutely everywhere. I think we had a couple spin. We've got one that's strewn into the middle of the track with one tyre on. What on earth is going on in there? Deflated has managed to... has retired somehow. Chaos all over, people tried moves at the very end there. I'm so confused as to what's just happened on that final straight. All you can see are bits and pieces of car flying around. TD in the end of it has got 8th. I'd say it's a good recovery, TD. Like I say, it's super unfortunate with how it all happened at the start, but I'm genuinely gutted for you. But it is a good comeback drive, like I say. Definitely targeting around 8th place is very, very good from there. But I'd say well done to the top 3. Well done to TD. Cracking performance there. And what on earth happened on that final lap? Unbelievable stuff. unbelievable finish to that race. It is 10-10 who eventually takes the cake and the gold trophy for champion driver. But the Scotsman wins on English soil on the Staffordshire Northamptonshire border here, and also takes the fastest lap for the clean 26-point sweep, and £20 from Rids, the first £20 of the week out there. Fastest in race lap with a 27.9. He takes 26 points away from this. He takes £20 out of Rids' pocket on his birthday week as well. 44 thousandths of a second between him and John over the line, spinning both together. And congrats to 10-10 from Rids and Goldilocks, and thank you again to you two legends. Joseph rounding out the podium with Black Guy 4th, Flamingo Eagle 5th, Daniel 6th, D-Bomb 7th, TD recovering to 8th, Top Gun 9th, Smaller Smiley 10th to round out the points. Kimmy, one of only a couple who didn't fully finish up there. I don't think, obviously, Damon and yeah, Damon, and a weird one for Deflated Wee retiring on the final lap there as well. But 10-10, get on to Goldilocks on Discord to arrange there. You have got 26 points and £20 coming your way. So well done, and thank you again to Goldilocks and to Rids. I'd imagine Goldilocks would pay. I suppose it makes sense on your birthday, Rids. Well, say, thrilling end to the race, and again, another one where you can pretty much throw a blanket over the top three for most of the race. Some good close racing, some slightly muscly close racing at the end as well, but brilliant nonetheless. And they just about kept it all on track, and 10-10, as I said, takes the cake for now. Rubbing his racing. Well, let's say it is in this tier, and the tier I race in, full out T-boning is racing. If you want to see a bit more of that, you can come along on Sunday for AT2. Of course, we've got AT1 on Thursday. See, another £20 up for grabs on both of those races. So again, thank you very much to Rids and to Goldilocks. And of course, with this particular tier, we'll do it all again next week as well. Next Tuesday night, 7:30. We've got a trip to Hungary now, so obviously that is where Daniel's Christmas car may feel a little bit more at home. But that should be it for me, and it from everyone there. Well done to the drivers again, and thank you to Rids and Goldilocks. We'll see you next week. Have a good week, everyone.